Welcome to the Dork Patrol podcast, the weirdo podcast about people that draw us. This is also our first edition in international editions. My first guest is Dr. Gurlfriend. So my interviews usually start asking how and why did you start to draw?
I mean, it's probably like a cliche sort of story, but it's like the child with the bad attention span draws all over their homework, like all your parents, and it's like, what the hell? Like, I still do that. I can't concentrate if I'm not doodling on something. So I guess that's since I was a kid, I've always been drawing on things. When I was in middle school, and I was in school in Guadalajara, me and my friends started drawing comics together, little narratives with cartoon characters based off of us, and we were in Catholic school, so it would be we got in big trouble too. We got suspended because we wrote this comic about killing one of the teachers, but it was a joke. It wasn't like Columbine or it was how you say you're I'm gonna kill that person because they're so annoying. It wasn't a thought out orchestrated murder. It was just more that bitch is annoying, I'm gonna kill her. And we got in so much trouble for that. My friend was crying and I was just yay, I don't have to go to school. My parents don't even care. They didn't even know what was going on. But she was really upset about it.
Yeah, we'll start drawing as kids. Was there a point when it was clear to you I want to do this my whole life?
I don't know if I want to do anything my whole life, to be honest. But I mean, I guess since I was a teenager and stuff, I got really into graphic novels and obviously Daniel Klaus is very formative, Ghost World and Meatball and all his stuff is really great, and Charles Burns too. I just was really into them when I was in high school, and I was just I want to be like them. I want to make really cool stories that really beautiful illustrations, especially Charles Burns Black Hole, it's just such a beautiful piece of literature, I think. And yeah.
So that's how you got into this whole drawing thing, and at the same time comics.
I don't know. I never really thought that. I don't know. Maybe it's just my upbringing and stuff. But I never really thought that I could actually do it. I think I was subconsciously kind of always doing little sequential imagery and stuff like that for fun, but I didn't take it very seriously until maybe a year ago, to be honest, to actually try and make work that was okay, I'm gonna have an actual thing I'm gonna print, and it's gonna be a little story, and it's gonna be in a book or something that I actually finish. It was always kind of I did a lot of school as well beforehand. I did a fine art course before I did illustration, so I was more of a classic art, oil painting kind of thing when I was younger. And yeah, I don't know, I don't really like that anymore. It's so bad. It's just hyper-realism. I'm just no, I don't I always thought, I always felt kind of ashamed too, because when I was doing my foundation, I was really into cartoons and comics, and that was kind of my coping mechanism with I don't know, it's just what I loved. Yeah. But I felt kind of silly and childish, and I always felt I personally was this is so dumb. I have to be an adult. I have to do work that's more serious and more profound. Yeah. And I'm no, actually.
True artists.
Yeah, I have to be a real fine artist, have some sort of meaning or prove that I'm really talented technically or something. I don't know. It's just misguided, I think, because I was really obsessed with Ren and Stimpy, the cartoon. I just wanted to be like him, John Kay, even though he's a fucking pervert and a weirdo. But his work is amazing. He's definitely influenced me a lot. But yeah, I always felt I was I wish I could do this, but I feel I wouldn't. Don't take it seriously enough.
So how was half of your upbringing was here in Mexico, and did that have any effect on that? Yeah, basically, how is it having both citizenships?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess kind of feeling a foreigner indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did move back to Mexico when I was 7 years old. I was here, and then when I was in middle school and high school, so it was kind of moving back and forth and going from American public education to Mexican private education, which is really competitive and kind of, it's weird. It's they make you do all these tests, and they kind of treat you like you're an idiot, and it's this whole grooming children to go to these specific schools that are not really it's just all about money and stuff. But the education is definitely as far as the education I had here, it was probably better than California. But as far as like the social upbringing, like I always felt like when I'd go to LA or like in the suburb I lived in the Inland Empire, I was always like, oh, you're from Mexico. No habla inglés. Oh, and also I actually learned Spanish before English, so it was like I started school not speaking English in the United States, so it was always like, oh, the Mexican, and it's like all like there was a very white like school, so it was just like, oh, the Mexican kid, that one. Like I remember I was in a school play and they made me play a mariachi character, and it's like really embarrassing now that I'm an adult. But when I was a kid, my mom was like, she had like an outfit, like she got it like over there on the street. She had it like custom made. She's just like, my child, the Mexican. Now I'm like, oh my god, those people are fucking racist. Like I don't care like what you say. Like it was always like when I like moved back and forth, it was like especially in American high school, and then you move to Mexico, and the kids are horrible here too. Like they're just like. They're like, oh, la pocha, no es americana, pero no es mexicana. It's like 50-50, like, where the fuck are you from? I'm like, I don't know where I'm from. And they'd make fun of the way I talked. And then I'd be like, okay, I can talk like them now. Okay, I can say, they call everybody, it's like, pinche way, puta madre, blah, blah, blah. It was like, okay, I can talk like them now. And then my dad's like, we're moving to the United States again. And I'm like, fuck, I'm in high school. Like, I hate my life. And I think that's when, like, I got really, really depressed. Like, when I was, like, moved to the United States again. Because I had all my friends in Mexico and kind of, like, my group. And it was, like, everyone was like, oh, she's, like, the artist. She's the cartoonist. And I moved to LA and was like, no one gives a shit about you. This school's, like, 4,000 kids. Like, go home. English as a second language to begin with, and I'm like, but I speak English and I read it and write it, what the hell? But yeah, it's pretty like, and also like moving to London was really interesting as well, because I feel like there's so much diversity in that city that I kind of felt a bit like I kind of belonged there, like to a certain point. I was just like, no one cares where I'm from here. Like no one's like, oh, the Mexican, oh, the American. They're just like, a lot of people thought I was Canadian, so I kind of got away with that. Even though Canadian people sound different, but they don't know. And they like Canadian people, but they don't like Americans, so they're just like, oh, you're from Canada? I'm like, no, I'm from LA. Oh yeah, that's cool, I guess. That's good too. It's like, oh, but I'm Mexican. They're like, oh, okay, it's good. Then you're good then. As long as you're not like a Trump supporter. Like I'm like, what the hell? I wouldn't be here if I was. Like I'd be in my country.
Was there much difference? I don't know if you still saw tunes when you went back to the US. Yeah, between what's here and there, or were just basically like.
As far as like the cartoons go, I feel like we just watch the same ones. Like Hero was my absolute favorite when I was a kid, and it was when I was living in Guadalajara. Was Johnny Bravo. I was like in love with Johnny Bravo. I think he was like my first crush. Like I wanted to marry him. Like I didn't understand like he was a cartoon. I was just like, he's so amazing.
I guess that happened to a lot of us, that we had some of our first crushes in cartoons.
Yeah, I mean, my first crush was actually Darkwing Duck, and I don't know if you know that cartoon, but yeah, I was in love with him. Like, I had this plastic Darkwing Duck action figure when I was like 3, and my grandma's dog ate it, and it was like someone died. Like, it was like so horrible. The face was like destroyed. My mom gave me a stuffed animal version of it to like compensate, and I was like, it doesn't look like him. I was like, it's all bloated. I was like, the plastic one looked just like him. I was like, that's him. He would go in the bath with me. I can't take this stuffed animal in the bath. Well, that cartoon's amazing.
It was cool. I remember the girl from Rescue Rangers, like the little mouse. I think that was one of my first crushes.
That mean.
Maybe that explains
the pants.
Yeah. Maybe that explains why furry is so popular right now.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I definitely have like my animal like symbol like role play stuff. Oh my god, that's TMI. I'm like, yes. It's like I have my animals that I'm like, you know. I'm just kidding. Don't put that in.
That's staying in. Okay, so that's as far as, you know, comics, cartoons. How did you arrive to the world of self-published works?
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, science.
I guess just like my obsession with things, like I just get very obsessive with like with films or with bands or like just kind of like wanting to like know everything about something. And I kept having these conversations with my friends about kind of like, oh, we're gonna make a zine about this film, or we're gonna make a zine about this cartoon, or we're just gonna make like some sort of fanzine thing that was like something just to like get people that are like kind of like subculture interested in like that kind of thing, and just be like, there's this one thing. And we kept making jokes about like, basically my friend had never seen the film Hellraiser. It's my friend Betty. She's from London. She's a really good illustrator too, by the way.
Cool.
But we were just talking about, I was like, we have to watch this film. I was like, we have to watch it. Like, it's such a funny film, and it's like really cool, but really stupid at the same time. It's like a cool film. I don't know if you like it as well.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, the first one. So then we watched it, and she was like, we have to make a zine for this. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And it was actually pretty close to Halloween. So we were just kind of casually like doing drawings in our sketchbooks and just kind of thinking about it, making jokes about it, being like, oh, Jesus wept, and like kind of like the whole daddy thing, and like, this is so funny. And I like really, we didn't even like have a plan. I just like kind of drew some panels from like the film and kind of did them like in my style. And then like she was doing her really amazing like ink drawings that were like, she does them with like a nib and a like the little metal nib and ink, and they're like kind of scratchy and like really creepy but really cool. And we were just like, well, nothing's really happening. Like, we don't really have a plan. But we had this really amazing, like, giant Xerox machine in the studio at school that was, like, just there, and it was free to print. And we were like, okay, we're going to make it. And I was like, yeah, let's just kind of take all the stuff we've already made, which was, like, some drawings, some little comics, like, a little, like, piece that I wrote that was, like, a joke. It was kind of like a recipe, but it had, like, characters. It was, like, a recipe and how to invoke the Cenobites or whatever. It's just dumb. But we were like, let's just make a Hellraiser fanzine. And it was really popular, like it, because I don't think I've ever seen a Hellraiser fanzine. No. I wish I'd have brought you one. I'll try to print you one and send it to you, because I can print like bootleg ones, but I made some for some people recently, and they came out kind of, I'm like, it's the American bootleg version. It has like the edition of 3, but it's like on this green paper, and it's just kind of like creepy. Like sometimes at zine fairs, people would be like, they'd be like, this scares me, like I don't want to look at it. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like there's children, I have to like cover it because it has the like teeth guy on the cover.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oops. Like I just don't really, I'm not really scared of him. I've looked at him so many times now that he's just like abstract. Like I don't really care. But yeah, I think that was the first thing that I made. I made it with my friend. And
How long ago was it?
It was 2017. So it was...
Well, so you really spent a long while like being the artist.
Not even. I spent a lot of time just kind of doing nothing. I was working at it, like I wasn't going to school for a few years. I was working at my dad's gas station in like East LA, and I would just go to shows and like get drunk, and I was always drawing, but I wasn't taking anything seriously. I was just kind of working at a corner shop, like having the time of my life. Like I would draw the customers. That's kind of like God Loves Lola kind of comes in, because it's like she's the character that works at the gas station that kind of doesn't really have anything going on. Like, it's just like kind of like moribund existential crisis, coming of age bullshit. Like it's just like she's just there, and she goes to shows, and she meets a lot of shitty like musician guys, because I feel like it was just like our adventures really, like going around LA. We would just go anywhere. Like I moved to like LA, which was like Los Feliz, like which is close to Silver Lake and Echo Park, which is where like the music scene is like was like really going on in a different way a couple years ago, but it's still there, except it's like all derivative. It's like first at this time it was like 60s proto-punk, but now it's like 80s post-punk or whatever the hell trend like is now. Like now it's like that, but it's like these boy bands that are just like trendy and just kind of like doing a thing that's like kind of derivative and nostalgic, and they look cool, they dress cool, and like they're older, so girls think they're really interesting. I don't know, just like I just like we had a lot of fun with that. Like we'd make fun of so many people. We went on so many adventures. Like remember we'd go to weird house parties with musicians that would invite us. Like I stole this Brian Eno record from a party once. I was just like, it was like Here Come the Warm Jets, like first pressing. This guy kept hitting on me and being like, oh, I have an extra copy, blah, 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 if you, like, you know, if you want to spend the night. And I remember grabbing I grabbed the record and put it in my shirt, and I was like to my sister, we need to go now. They're like, well, I was like, we need to leave now. We leave, we get to the car, I'm like, I did it. I was like, I got it. I was like, fuck those guys. But yeah, sorry, tangent.
No, I love those records, the early ones.
Yeah, I have like the 4s, like that, Here Come the Warm Jets, Taking Tiger Man, Before and After Science, and then Another Green World. I was just like, yeah, those are all beautiful, great albums.
Okay, so that's the signs. I mean, I guess that's how most of us just.
I feel like I neglected it for a long time, though. I was just like.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, I was just like kind of like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't really know what I'm doing with myself or my life. But I know it's like what I love. I'm like absolutely in love with it. Like,
and when you did it, it felt just right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like every time I print something, I'm like, it's my baby. Like it's coming off the printer. I just feel like this like euphoria, or like just like this really great feeling. I'm just like, it's my child, it's born. Like,
Yeah,
I love it.
exactly. I'm thinking, well, I mean, the design, the Dork Patrol had like six numbers or something. But it started just like that. Like, we didn't have much going on. A week later, there was a sign show, and we were like, and I was like, guys, let's just do some cartoons, and we give this thing away. We did it in the afternoon, and next week we were giving it away. I feel, yeah, I think it's like, it might be a common origin story, but like, I mean, it's the only way. It's how it happens. It just does. And that's another. Well, that's one of the things like that have been coming up in these interviews. I mean, I'm trying to understand why we gravitate towards comics and within comics to science, right? Because there's a comic scene, but the comic scene sometimes is, I don't know. They are in their own world with superheroes and
Oh yeah.
hero stories or like coming of age stories.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are very samey. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. And they're still producing so many of those comics. I just not really that interested.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, I read the Alan Moore one that he did with the Batman Killing Joke or whatever. It's like, okay, that's really niche because it's like Alan Moore. But then you're like, do I really care about the other comics?
Yeah, like the rest of the Batmans, like what for?
Yeah, and I loved Batman. Like growing up, I loved like the films,
Yeah,
like the Tim Burton films, and like that's like the all of the '90s films and stuff. I love that, but I think he was definitely a special superhero for me, but I just don't really care about reading about Batman comics.
Yeah,
I think cartoon is amazing too, but it's just like not. I don't know.
It's. I mean, the thing is, like, also those stories they've been telling us for like.
Yeah.
70 years of. I don't even know how many origins those guys have. It's like.
Yeah.
Like, well, sure, whatever.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say another formative thing for me was like, there's actually this comic book. Well, it's kind of like a nerd like marketplace, and I actually went recently, and I was like, oh my god, this is nostalgic for me, but it's even better now. So anyone in LA, I recommend it. It's called Frankensons, and it's like basically a nerd market. They do it on Wednesdays and on Saturdays, and it's like all day. It's like this warehouse where it's just like collectible shit. Like they have like so many action figures there that's just like insane. Like they sell action figure arms from like the 80s for like $40. And I took my little brother there, he's like 14. He was like, what the hell? Who wants to pay $40 for an arm? And I was like, I don't know, people are crazy. Like, this place is so cool because like there was basically like it's just like loads of collectibles, video games, like action figures, like there's areas where people play like card games, like it's like nerd world. But there was one particular shop that this guy, he's still there, and I went to talk to him. I was like, I used to come here when I was 15, and he's like, welcome back, and he gave me a free comic because he was just like so happy. And I'm like, I'm 29 now. I was like, I'm like, like I make comics now, and he's like, that's so cool. But it's like he just had like these boxes of superhero comics for like 10 cents, and he still has them. And I would page to him, I'm just like, I don't know what this shit is like. Yeah. But I bought a lot. He sold a lot of like graphic novels too, so he kind of like sells everything really cheap. So I get like all my like kind of like dinner costs, like all that stuff. I would get it from him, and he just kind of like have random ones. He's like, I'm selling cheaper than list price. And I'm like, yeah. They just give you like a bundle deal, and he just would have like so much stuff, and it's like still there. But it's so cool now because like all the comic stuff is kind of still there, but they also have this like room that's like just vintage like 80s arcade games, and it's like a quarter to like 25 cents to play like the games, and they're like in really good condition. I love video games too, so it's like my uncle actually that I grew up with, he's like a little bit older than me, but he's kind of like more like my brother, really, because my mom raised him, and he was really into games. So I think he kind of got me and my sisters really into games, and he'd like all the RPGs and stuff. But yeah, I love video games too.
But then you had this uncle, because that's another thing, another factor we've found maybe. We all have like an older sibling or someone. A huge influence like that.
Yeah, actually he was really into like superhero comics. He was really into the X-Men, and he collected them, like he had them in the little like casings and everything, and he collected the cards. And then he just grew up and like got over it and was like, fuck this is out of my life forever. Like it's just like, I remember like I had Pokemon cards, and I was like kind of like buy Pokemon cards. I still love Pokemon cards, they're great.
I love Pokemon too. I mean, it's yeah.
He was really into superhero stuff, and I think our extent that was like kind of like trying to touch his things, like me and my sister, and then him like getting really mad and like being like, don't touch my things, these are collectibles. And then he just kind of like dumped all of it. Yeah.
What does he do now?
He's just like a business like guy. He works for pretty much. I actually moved to London because he was living there, and he lived there for 12 years. And now he lives in New York, but he just works in like a corporate office. He hates his job. It's like corporate guy.
Yeah. He's the absolute opposite from my uncle. I don't know. He stayed like in his world of collectibles and games, and I think in the end he had to sell everything, you know.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say at a certain point you kind of like start getting rid of stuff. Like I remember I used to have an action figure, collectible action figure of the Crow. I don't know why that's when I was in high school. So lame. I was so in love with him. I was like, I needed like a 2-foot like sculpture of him in my room for some reason.
It was your new Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, probably. I haven't even made that connection, but that's definitely it. It was like the Crow. It was like, that is my dream man. Like, it's like a little 16-year-old goth girl. It's just like, that's like my statue. But yeah.
Comics are not yet your like main income, are they?
No.
I mean, I just know a couple of people here, like Abraham. He's one of the few that I think lives out only of his work.
Really?
You know, and he does, and he has to do like some other stuff, you know, bring some stuff for other people or something, but basically, yeah, and he tries to project his, also in Echi, they both, what they really do is project their work to America and to, like, you know, first world countries.
Yeah.
Because over here, like, I mean, the scene is cool here, but really, we buy from each other. It doesn't really, the public does not grow that much.
Yeah, there's not like a big market for it. Yeah.
So I don't know how do you do in that regard? Are you doing like illustration work? You know, like. What is your, how's your income? How's the scene over there?
No income. It's like zero. I don't even, I live with my sister. I don't even know if I need to pay rent. No, but it's because well, when I was living in London, I was working for a while I was working at like a music store. Really lame. I was working at an instrument store. I was working at a ukulele store, which is like really corny.
Whoa, that's so weird.
It's really weird. Like, I just got the job because of a friend who was just like, do you want to work here? And I was like, I don't like these things, but okay, yeah, it pays under the table. I'll do it. Like, quick cash. But yeah, I mean, I was selling comics a lot in London too, but I haven't really like done like freelance like commissions and like since I moved there. Really should probably be trying to find more stuff like that. I think I get freaked out because like, yeah, people paying you and stuff, but that's just like putting up excuses. Like, you just have to, like,
yeah, I mean, commissions, because we were talking yesterday with Yuri, like, you've been doing like stuff for like tattoos, right? And,
well, I get people asking me about that, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should get into like, I just don't really know how to. Like,
yeah, I don't either. But I mean, you could at least like sell the designs, right?
Yeah, I guess. I used to just like, well, how do you even do it nowadays? You do everything on social media. It's like you just harass tattoo studios until they know who you are. Like, it's like you just do that. I mean, it seems to work for some people, though. I just feel like I'm so introverted that sometimes I'm like people just tagging things and like responding to things. It's like it actually does work. Because I have a friend who's like really successful and like I think she's like pretty self-made. Like she's just amazing.
I really think it's a bit about harassing people. I mean,
yeah, unfortunately it is. And then you're like, you don't want to talk to anybody. It's kind of difficult. You just end up being like the creepy comic book guy that like, hides in the basement.
That's the problem with comics. We end up like that because you wanna do a story. People read them just like so quickly and really.
Yeah, I've realized that as well, and I try not to be depressed about that anymore. But it's like always like, yeah, you do like art fairs and stuff. It's like no one cares about your book. Like they want T-shirts and prints or like things that are immediately like that. Like they look at a book and they're like, oh god, well, it's a lot of work. Like that's just And I'm like, but this is what I put my heart and soul in. This is me. Don't you understand? And it's like, it's a different technique, I think, to try to get people's attention in that way, because people just aren't going to care as much about that immediately. Like, it's more difficult. Really.
Yeah, you have to like build a fan base and stuff, but the thing is, they also want to see new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like, I don't have new stuff. I hate myself. Like, what do you want me to tell you? It's like, that's not true. But it's like sometimes you're just like in that mood and you're like, just leave me alone.
Yeah. Sometimes you are not in the creative mood. And I mean, you started in like 17, you said, right? Mm. In 2017, you started. Like,
yeah, I started like making my own little publications and stuff. Yeah.
But like, it is comics what call you.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's just like I've never really made like zines that are about anything else. Like, we made the Hellraiser one, but everything else has always been like, it's like people call them zines, but like it's like kind of like they're self-published, but it's always like a little narrative with a lot of drawings and like kind of like characters. Yeah, that's
another thing. Like right now you say zine, and it can be like a lot of different things. You know? Yeah. Like comic zines is a niche on its own.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, it is a zine because it's self-published and it's like you're trying to get something out to people, but it's not necessarily like...
Yeah, a lot of them are like, I don't know, just illustrations, or let's call them the classic signs, are the ideological ones, or the punk ones, the music ones. You know? Yeah,
the music ones, and then there's like political ones, so just ones like just literature based, or like poetry and like writing, and like those are really cool too, because I know this one publisher. Well, they're like indie like zine publisher in the UK. They're called SW Press. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're really cool. They do this zine that's like called the Chapes, and it's like literally like feminist kind of punk girl zine. It's really cool because it has a lot of like writing in it, but then there's this illustrator who I'm gonna cite her as like a reference, but she's a friend too. She's fucking cool. Her name is Bridget Deacon. I don't know if you've seen her work, but her stuff is like kind of like, she does a lot of portraits of women, and it's like very woman based, but they're like inky portraits that are like kind of dirtier, but like kind of the same, like very influenced by Daniel Klaus's like drawings of women. And she's actually like so cool, like her work, and she's a really genuine person too, because she actually got a deal with Gucci. Was it Gucci? No, it was Prada. And it was Prada, and her, like, they had like a comic book themed like fashion line or something, and her drawings were like on their bags and like the runway in Milan, and it was like a fucking cool deal. And she's like really good, and she's still like, I've met her at zine fairs and stuff, and she just makes like her little zines, and she does stuff for that publication, and like she's like a really down to earth, like really cool person, like, and she just has like a normal job, and she lives in like England, like she's not like a celebrity or anything, you know. But I like really looked up to her, and I was just like, I love her. She's like my influence. I wrote about her in an essay that I wrote about comics in my second year, and I was just like, I have to meet her. And then I met her, and I was like, wow, she's like really down to earth and really cool. I was like, she's just like me, and like she kind of has the same spirit, I think, because she's just really into making zines, and like she's not really like taking it any further than that, I think, right now.
Oh.
Like, she works at a library, like at a public library.
Yeah,
so it's like, cool. She's like a real person. But she got this amazing deal with Prada, where she was like, it's a Cinderella story. She's like, and now it's over and back to real life, and I'm a normal person again. Like, but yeah, her work is sick.
Yeah, no, I think that's what brings us all to science. I mean, this possibility of finding, you know, just people that, you know, like you said, like has normal jobs, or like, I don't know, we just really want to, like, you know, I want to tell this story, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with comics. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, visual narrative is really important to me as well. Like, because I love talking, and I love like chismes, like I love like gossiping, and like I realized that too. Like, I was just like, I am like 27 or something. I was just like, I talk so much crap all the time. I can talk for hours. I can get drunk and just tell everyone my whole life story. I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I was like, why am I not putting this down on paper? Like, it just doesn't make sense. I was like, it's like I'm giving it away for free. Like, I should be like just making it into a thing so people can read it and laugh at it. Because I swear, every time someone opens up one of these, like that one, or even like the other one, the torso, is like, they're just open it, they start laughing, and they're like, okay, yeah, this is really funny, and that makes me feel really good. Like, I just feel like that is like what makes me feel good in life. Like, it's like when someone laughs at something I did, I'm like, okay, this is like the moment. Like, I don't even want to be famous or like anything. I just want people to read what I wrote and like it's funny. Like, it's funny as me talking. Sometimes I'm just like, okay, that's perfect.
It's the moment of connection. Like at that point, it's like when you're like, oh, it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's so worth it.
Or when people message me, they're like, oh my god, that's me, and I'm like, there you go. It's like, yeah, it is you. I was like, it's me too, or it was me. Or, I don't know. Yeah.
It's just those little moments that you go like, oh, okay, and it's not worthless, it's not useless.
Yeah, exactly. It's like someone can relate to it, or someone can enjoy it at least. Like that's it. That's all of it. I'm gonna be poor forever. No, that's not true. But yeah, hopefully, I'll be able to pay rent, so it'll be fine. Yeah.
Dr. Gurlfriend, what does the future hold for your comics? What should we expect from Dr. Gurlfriend?
Okay. Procrastinating a lot lately, but I'm really going to try and finish the second volume of God Loves Lola. I'm going to try and have like a release party and stuff, like in LA somewhere. I'm not really sure where yet, if it's going to be in a gallery or like, I have a friend who has a shop in LA who's like, it's like kind of like a clothing store, but she does zines and records, and it's like a very DIY kind of punk store. So I'm like, maybe ask her to do the release party there. So definitely gonna finish this guy. I have no idea how I'm gonna print it. It's already like, it's at the point where it's like, it's an outline. It's outlined right now. I know what the first page is gonna look like, but I haven't even started it. I'm just like, I just wanted to start with like the torsos. I'm gonna start with Joe, and like, he's my baby, so I have to do more work for him. I have to give him more screen time or whatever. More screen time for Joe, because he's important. Yeah. I've even like, sometimes I'm just like somewhere and I'm bored and I start kind of writing a script for him on my phone, and I have like a bunch of those, but I haven't like turned them into comics, where he's just kind of like talking to himself, having like an internal monologue, or like hanging out with his friends, or like looking at his phone. Like, I'll be doing that, and I'll be like, Joe's doing that, and I start like writing it on my phone, and I like just need to like draw it out, because I'm like, he's like my favorite character. Not sure if it's gonna be Riso printed. I just don't know, like, if it should be for continuity, because actually this is the second edition. The first edition was all in black and white, and it was printed on recycled paper. So this one's like pink and black, but
it's Riso, right?
Yeah, that one's Riso, but originally it was just printed like with the Xerox, like in black and white. So it's kind of like, I'm not sure if I should follow. I'm not even going to think about that right now. I just want to have the story now, and then I'm like, if it works, like, we'll get it Riso printed. If not, I'll just print it black and white. Like, I just want to get the story out. It'll be nice. The printing will be nice somehow. I just don't know if I want to Riso print it again. But, cheers. But yeah, that, and then I guess as far as comics, yeah, that really.
Yeah, that's great. But I just thought of another question.
Yeah?
What are you doing here in Mexico City?
What am I doing here in Mexico City? Spiritual getaway. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's like so many cool artists in Mexico that I followed. I was just kind of coming out here to try and like hang out. Kind of like what you're going to do in Canada, I guess. But I didn't really have like a plan. I just didn't really have like, I wasn't like, this is the fair that I'm going to. Junji Ito is going to be there. I'm just like, kind of like, I'm just coming here because I haven't been here since I was a kid. It just sounds like a really cool city, and there's so many cool artists that I follow on Instagram that are based here, and like Yuri, like I love her. Like every time like someone asks me about comics and people like contemporary, I always show them her work, because I'm like, I love her. She's so cute. Like her little like comic, what's it called? Tania Roquera just reminds me. It reminds me of like Almodovar, like you know, have you seen that film Pepe Lucy Bam?
No, I mean, I've seen Almodovar, but that's so cool. I mean,
and also I reference him a lot, like not like directly, but like I have a lot of ideas from him as well, from that film Pepe Lucy Bam. And when I saw her work, I told her, I was like, oh my god, that film! It's a film about these three girls that are like punk, but it's like kind of like, it's like a like movida kind of 80s punk film. It's like one is like Alaska, this is like the Alaska Los Pegamoides. That's her. She's like a punk singer in it. And then there's like this older woman who's like in an abusive relationship, and she becomes her girlfriend and / her slave, and they have like a BDSM relationship. And then this other character that's kind of like a hip kind of artsy girl who doesn't really have a job and doesn't do anything, and she has this whole like situation happening to her with a police officer. I won't give away a lot of it, but it's such a cool story. It's like about these 3 punk girls. So I'm just like, and they have these like advertisements throughout the films that are like kind of directed towards, I shouldn't give that away, but they're like fake feminist products. And I kind of took that too in my comic because I was like, that's so cool. Oh. They're like these underwear that you can like fart in them and like it won't smell. You can piss your pants and like no one will know. And it's like these things that are like directed towards women that are like really ironic and kind of disturbing and gross but funny. Like I love that. But yeah, no, I mean like Yuri reminds me a lot of that. And then I saw her inking and stuff. I was just like, oh my God, that's me. I was like, this is like a person that I have a connection with. And I don't even remember how I found her. Like we just became Instagram friends and we started talking. And then I was in Manchester doing a zine fair and this guy had her zine there, or the little comic. And I was like, I don't care how much it costs. Like it was like $20. So I was just like, I'm taking it. I was like, I want it. I need it. Like this. I was like, here's my zine money. I'm throwing it at you. This is money I made today. Like I'm taking this. It's like the best thing I ever bought.
You should come more, even if just for signs here are so cheap. I mean, the prices you're telling me, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, no. In the UK, everything is like. Even then, like, I feel like it's pretty cheap for zines there. Like, I mean, for the currency, like, compared, like, as far as, like, selling things, like, you can't really sell them too expensive because people won't buy them. But here, everything's so cheap.
Yeah. And signs are the cheapest thing ever. Like, yeah. So, spiritual treat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, and I just wanted to try and meet some artists here. I was like, I'm going to try and meet some cool people that are doing comics and stuff because I just feel like it is a very small scene here. Like, it's, like, very tight.
Yeah. It really is, like, I mean, especially in science. Like, there is a comic scene, and it's, you know, it's big, and there's, like, older people, but it's, I don't know, it's very male-centric, and, you know, it's just...
Yeah, exactly, it is.
It's, like, a whole other deal, and... I find it like really refreshing that basically the one that brought up all of the graphic sign thing. I mean, it was basically the work of Inechi and the guy that she was dating at some point. They had a little collective thing, and I mean it exploded like from whatever they did, like then they met Hot Dog, and I don't know, like a lot more people got involved, but it's really, I think it's really cool that like a girl brought back the whole comics thing in science, at least. I think that's also cool in the science thing, like girls make themselves a lot more visible, and I think we try to not, I mean, at least the guys I know in the scene try not to get in the way of that. So, yeah. But
it is true. It's a very male-dominated, like, I think I'm very, like, obsessed with women who do comics, like, not just, like, Mexico, but, like, everywhere, and, like, historically as well. Like, it's just, like, you know, even the Cupid doll, originates from a woman. An American woman designed him for a comic for a women's, like, home magazine. So it's like, that's why I love the Cupid. Maybe that's why Tiny Splendor uses it as well, because it's kind of like a feminist icon. Like, I'm not trying to copy Tiny Splendor, but I love the Cupid. I love mayonnaise, and I love like the woman that made the Cupid doll. It's like the origin of comics for women is kind of like there, or at least like American. Yeah.
At least you guys have an industry over there.
Yeah.
Like here, I hear like. There's barely any, and the little there is, you know, it's just guys. I mean, I'm not really. There's some girls in that industry, but most of the time it follows that same.
Yeah, I guess I just don't really know about it. that much. It's
Yeah.
like not as like a big thing here.
I mean, there's like a couple. There's this really famous one. It's cool and
That's very popular too.
she's popular, but like it's like basic art feelings, you know?
It's like DeviantArt.
Basic artsy feelings, yeah, like very very. Oh, I feel this, and I'm such an artist, and you know, like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I'm the first person that got attention for doing this because I put it out there, which is admirable too. But at the same time, it's like it's admirable that you're like doing successful things and that you're like confident enough to put it out there. But at the same time, like I don't like your work because it's like I don't relate to
it's
it.
like
It's like I won't like it, but someone basic will like it, and good for you. It's like I'm too like.
I like I don't know to find this like limit on our humanity, just to reinforce the fact that we are human. To find them and be like, oh shit, yeah, well, here I have a limit, you know, and then go back to it's comfortable, it's okay to be a human, you know, besides all this technology we're being bombarded with, besides all the politic quarrels everywhere, trying to celebrate all that, even the horrible things, just to find that, you know, that well, yeah, your humanity. It's like fucking Hellraiser, man. It's like you know you're trying to reach the limits just to see what pain does, what sadness does, what weird. It's just that I remember that first Hellraiser feeling a lot like a soap opera with the whole.
Yeah, it's like really melodramatic and corny. Yeah.
I love it, but yeah, it's like finding that. Wow.
Yeah, I guess because I guess like if you're liking it in like format of a scene, you're like kind of like uninhibited at some point because you're not really trying to think commercially. You're not like, oh, are people gonna buy this? Are people gonna? It's just like genuine.
Yeah,
to a
it's
certain
just like
extent. Yeah.
You know, I need to get this up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not like, oh my god, are they gonna like it? Like, is the mainstream gonna like it? Because if you try to please the mainstream, you're gonna end up making some blunt, boring shit. Like the new Avengers movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Haven't even watched it.
I don't even like that shit. And I saw it because it was my brother's birthday. I was just like, I don't know what's going on. Why is that Spider-Man character like, when the fuck did that happen? Like, who is that? And I was just like, I don't know who these characters are. In my head, I just kept being like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I haven't seen these movies. Like, I know who Iron Man is.
Even watching them, like, I watched a bunch of them, not all of them. But it's like, whenever I finish them, it feels like, I don't know, like when you eat junk food, like a lot of junk food.
Yeah.
And you were hungry, and you're like, oh, that didn't took my hunger out at all.
No, because
like, you're just...
there's no, like, you don't care about the characters and the narrative isn't genuine. It's like fast food of, like, narrative. At the end of the day, it's all American propaganda. Fucking, well, I mean, that's the origin, right, of, like, superhero comics. But, like, when you see these movies, you're like, oh, yeah, America versus, like, the world. And you're like, the Avengers are the America, and they're beating everybody up. And you're like, this is so dumb. Like, this is just, like, full-on, like, American, like, bullshit. Like, America's not winning anything. We're destroying the planet, like, faster than everyone else is, and our president's a piece of shit. Yeah, it's really bad. That's why this movies suck, because they're just, like, so stupid.
Yeah, they're just pap. They're just, I don't know.
It's just, like, take an American flag and wrap it up in a burrito and smack it on the screen for 2 hours, and then it's, like, without any shame, just kind of like, America.
Yeah, it's too much. Like, all those characters, you know, doing the whole propaganda thing. You have all the whole influence package, like comics, films, video games. So yeah, cartoons. It all aims towards narrative, right? So, Dr. Gurlfriend, where can I find your work?
Well, right now, I mean, I have a big cartel shop, but I don't really have anything that's on there other than the Rhizo zine, which I don't have that many left of. But I mean, yeah, I guess through there, but on Instagram as well is easy. Just like DM me and I can like send you stuff or something you like. I want to like reprint it and stuff. And hopefully I'll be adding more stuff to the shop soon.
So Instagram/
Instagram/ like Big Cartel, which is like on my website, which is like drgurlfriend.com with a U.
Gurlfriend.
Yeah, with a U because of legal issues
.com.
going on there. Yeah.
Instagram/ Dr. Gurlfriend. Follow her place and, just keep on listening, keep on drawing. This shit you can find #Dork Patrol on Instagram, and that way you should find my Instagram, but whatever, just follow the hashtag. And those old episodes in Spanish should be there, but any hopeful episodes in English will be there too. So that's that. I'm Arthur. I also make comics sometimes. There's this one about bats. One more rednightmare.tumblr.com. So you can read that one there. And I don't know, just follow, just keep listening. So peace out.